Welcome, racing fans, to the Motorsports Radio Podcast Network. This is Manny Allegretti, and this is the Motorsports Radio Weekend Edition for this Thursday, May 4th. And this is show number 54. And man, a whole lot of racing this past weekend. NHRA Full Wide Nationals, Formula One out in Russia, IndyCar out in Phoenix, and NASCAR in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Richmond International Raceway for some more short track racing. We'll take a little break from short track racing as the action heads to Talladega. But last weekend, NASCAR Xfinity Series racing on Saturday with the Toyota KR250 winner Kyle Larson with the 42 car leading just 10 laps. Most laps led was Justin Allgaier, driver of the 7 car, leading 157. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series racing on Sunday with the Toyota Owners 400. Joey Logano gets his first win of 2017 with the 22 car leading 25 laps. Most laps led was Matt Kenseth, who led 164 and finished in 23rd. Okay, there was IndyCar action this past weekend at Phoenix International Raceway, the Desert Diamond West Valley Phoenix Grand Prix. Winner Simon Pagenaud, who earned 53 points, puts him at 159 total points for the season so far. And in Russia, for the 4th year, Formula One, the 2017 Formula One VTB Russian Grand Prix race winner Valtteri Bottas, who receives 25 championship points. Valtteri Bottas, Team Mercedes, and Team Red Bull wins the DHL Fastest Pit Stop Award. NHRA this past weekend as well with the Full Wide Nationals. Pro Stock motorcycle winner L.E. Tongley, Pro Stock winner Chris McGahey, and Funny Car winner Ron Capps, Top Fuel Dragster winner Steve Torrance. In this week's program, or today's program I should say, we've got some racing news, driver standings. Kyle Larson said he's the last great race car driver. Chase Elliott giving a big old party down in Talladega, and Jimmy Johnson versus the Twitter haters. But first, it's the history of the number 22. And remember, you can catch any show anytime on demand at motorsportsradio.net. Anyone out there who has their own show and wants to get it on motorsportsradio.net, you can contact the Motorsports Radio and get your show up on there. We have a talk and text line at 631-629-6611, and we'll be glad to get your shows up on there and get a little racing fan community, if you will. So, Sunday's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, Joe Logano, driver of the 22 car, he drives that 22 car across the finish line into victory lane. Keselowski coming in second. They're calling it the Team Penske 1-2. But the question is, who else drove the 22 car? Now for motorsportsradio.net's History of the Numbers, History of the number 22. Going all the way back to 1949. First driver and the first driver to win a Cup Series championship, Red Byron. And of course, Red Byron has the 22 car displayed at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And Red Byron, 1949 through 1950. 6 races and 2 wins, winning the first race at the Daytona Beach and Road Course, winning the 164 miles at Daytona Beach and Road Course. I like how they named the races back then, but that was on July 10th of 1949. Second win of 49 on September 25th, winning the 105 miles at Martinsville. Both races in the 22 Oldsmobile, racing for Raymond Parks. Red Byron drove the double 2, as mentioned, from 1949 through 1950. And then we fast forward to 1956, another famous driver, Fireball Roberts, who got his nickname Fireball because he used to be a high school pitcher. That's where the name Fireball came from his pitching arm. But Fireball Roberts with 30 wins, 79 top 5s, 98 top 10s, 121 top 20s, 27 poles, and led 5,528 laps. This is combined 1956 and 58 and 1960 through 64. There was also Bobby Allison, Sterling Marlin, Wally Dallenbach Jr., and Ward Burton. Kurt Busch and A.J. Allmendinger shared the 22 in 2011, Sam Hornish Jr. in 2012, and Joey Logano takes over in 2013. And first win in 2013 and 22, and that was which was known as the Sprint Cup Series back then. It was on August 18, 2013, winning the Pure Michigan 400 Michigan International Speedway, winning the race off the pole and leading 51 laps. Joey Logano so far with 16 wins total with the 22 car, including 6 wins in 2015. Some number 22 stats, June 19, 1949 through April 30th, 2017. 1,427 races, 74 wins, 334 top 5s, 556 top 10s, 891 top 20s, 72 poles, 360,031 total laps, and 19,198 laps led. Source, driveraverages.com. So that, ladies and gentlemen, the history of the number 22. So, let's take a look at some driver standings, starting with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. First place still, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, 398 points, 7 playoff points. Truex Jr. in second. Chase Elliott third. Fourth is Joey Logano. And fifth, it's Bert Keselowski. Truex Jr. at 358 points has 10 playoff points, 2 playoff points for Chase Elliott, 6 for Joey Logano, and 11 for Bert Keselowski. Now, even though Joey Logano won this race, his first place finish has become encumbered. We'll talk about that in penalty updates. 6 through 10, we got Kevin Harvick in 6th, 7th, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson 8th, 9th is Clint Bowyer, and Kyle Busch in 10th. Jimmy Johnson also with 10 playoff points. Kyle Busch has 1. Kevin Harvick with 3. Then from 11th through 15th in order, it's Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Ryan Newman, Trevor Bayne, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ryan Blaney has 2 playoff points. Ryan Newman has 5. Then 16th through 20 in order, it's Eric Jones, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Eric Almirola, and Casey Kane. And then 21 through 25, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Paul Menard. Top 10 for the Xfinity Series, Elliott Sadler first place, Justin Allgaier second, third is William Byron, Daniel Hemrick in fourth, and fifth is Darrell Wallace Jr. Ryan Reed in sixth, seventh is Blake Koch, Michael Annett in 8th, 9th is Matt Tifft, and Brandon Poole sits in 10th place. Elliott Sadler with 295 points, 2 playoff points, Justin Allgaier 254, plus 6 playoff points. Daniel Hemrick has 1 playoff point and 5 playoff points for Ryan Reed. Manufacturer standings. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, Ford's in first place. Second place is Chevy. Toyota in third. Ford with 330 points. 329 for Chevrolet. Toyota with 301. Then Xfinity Series, Ford in first place with 255 points. Chevrolet in second. Toyota third. Dodge is in fourth. 250 points for Chevrolet. 243 points for Toyota. And Dodge is with 27. Alright, so next week we'll go over the Truck Series standings, since the Trucks return next weekend, and also next weekend Xfinity Series we have a Cup Series race, a night race next weekend at Kansas, and a Friday night truck race. So that will be the weekend after this upcoming weekend. Alright, IndyCar Top 10, first place Simon Pagenaud with 159 points, Scott Dixon in second, third is Joseph Newgarden, Sebastian Bourdais in fourth, James Hinchcliffe in fifth, sixth is Helio Castroneves, seventh Will Power, Tony Kanaan in ninth, Ryan Hunter-Reay is in ninth place, and sitting in 10th place, it's Ed Jones. And Formula 1 Top 10, Sebastian Vettel from Team Ferrari still in first place, Lewis Hamilton second, Valtteri Bottas third, Kimi Räikkönen fourth, fifth is Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo in sixth, seventh is Sergio Perez, Felipe Massa eighth, Carlos Sainz in ninth, and in 10th it's Esteban Ocon. Formula 1 returns in next weekend, the 14th. IndyCar returns on the 13th. IndyCar heading to Indianapolis for the, not the Indy 500, but the Indianapolis Grand Prix. IndyCar actually spends 2 weekends at Indianapolis. And then for Formula 1, they're heading to Spain. And then the weekend after that will be Memorial Day weekend. That will be the Indy 500, Monaco Grand Prix, Indy 500, and the Coca-Cola 600. And NASCAR news, NASCAR driver John Andretti. News broke out, John Andretti unfortunately battling stage 4 colon cancer. This according to WTHR-TV in Indianapolis, reporter Dave Calabro. John Andretti, son of former racer Aldo Andretti and John Andretti's famous uncle Mario Andretti, who was also diagnosed with diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer that wound up spreading to his liver. John Andretti says that now I'm a stage 4A, and there's only a stage 4B from my understanding, so I'm not really excited about that. But the good news is that we are still on the side that has a good chance of being cured. John Andretti made 393 starts in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 1993 to 2010. First win came in July of 1997 at Daytona, winning the Pepsi 400. That would be the summertime race at Daytona. 160-lap race, and John Andretti led 113, driving the 43 car for Cale Yarborough Motorsports, the 43 Ford. Career stats for John Andretti: 393 races, 2 wins, 13 top 5s, 37 top 10s, 141 top 20s. 4 poles, 106,386 total laps with 763 laps led. In 1994, Andretti became the first driver to race in both Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. The second person to do that, I think, was Tony Stewart, who did that a couple of years ago, 2013 or 14, I think it was, about finishing 10th in the 1994 Indy 500, and then and the Coca-Cola 600, unfortunately did not finish due to technical issues, but he did race 220 of the total 400 laps. 1999, Andretti's second win at Martinsville, this time in the 43 car driving for Petty Enterprises, winning the Goody's Body Pain 500 in the 43 Pontiac, leading just 4 laps. I think 93-94 was still the Winston Cup Series, because that's when everyone was... I think it was 93, and then I think it was when Nextel came out. So when it became the Nextel Cup, actually, yeah, because Winston, R.J. Reynolds. If you study the history of NASCAR, R.J. Reynolds was one of the first big sponsors of NASCAR. So when the Cup Series, as we know it, got its first sponsor, it was the Winston Cup for like years and years and years until the mid '90s. Another sad news, Auto Racing Hall of Famer Joe Leonard passed away last week due to health issues. Joe Leonard, 1932 to 2017, who raced in a bunch of stuff. American Motorcycle Association, AMA, which everyone does the Supercross. 27 wins. Also the Daytona 200, which was a motorcycle race. 9 starts in the Indy 500. Unfortunately, IndyCar wreck made him paralyzed and he couldn't walk, which is kind of crazy. But Joe Leonard, 1932 to 2017. All right, I hate reporting bad stuff like that, man. All right, Travis Pastrana. Anybody know that name? Travis Pastrana, action sports icon, will be participating in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in 2017, participating in the Las Vegas race this season, driving for Nice Motorsports. He will be in the 45 truck. Pastrana also underwent track test at Charlotte this past Tuesday. He will be racing in Vegas for the Las Vegas 350 in September. That's Saturday, September 30th, 8:30 on FS1. Pastrana raced in the Camping World Truck Series back in 2015, also at Vegas, and also raced in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2013. 2013 he was a one-time pole winner and a 4-time top 10 finisher. Nice Motorsports, owned by Marine Corps veteran Al Nice. Nice Motorsports has raced in a partial schedule this year, but is planning on going full-time in 2018. All right, so for those who watched that race on Sunday, you saw Jimmy Johnson get into Dale Jr.'s car, which was crazy. Dale Jr. saying, they just blanked hit us. And here's what happened. Okay, well, apparently, when you mess around with Dale Jr., his fans get on Twitter, and there was a little battle between Jimmy Johnson and Twitter haters. This was on NASCAR.com this past week. So Jimmy Johnson on Twitter, here it is. Okay, a tweet, at Jimmy Johnson tweets, we overcame a lot today for a decent finish. I was even able to crash a teammate. Hashtag good times. Hashtag joking. Of course, everyone saw that race coming off the restart, and Jimmy Johnson, some reason, came in the middle, came up to the high side, and Dale Jr. ran along the wall, and Jimmy Johnson says,